I am truly an affected person. They gave me the distinct blessing of sharing my testimony with you today. And I'm humbled to do that. In 2001, we started going to India. I was watching a Maranatha mission story. And I thought, I've got to get involved in that. I need to call Don or Mike Ryan the next morning and say, I want to go. Let me know if you need some help doing something, carrying suitcases or whatever. Program ended, my dad called 5 minutes later and said, hey, Bruce, have you ever thought about going to India? And I said, as a matter of fact, I have, and I will go, not knowing anything about what I just committed to. 3 weeks after 9/11, we got on a plane to go to India, full of the same looking to me people that just blew up the Twin Towers. And I was scared to death. And I was on point the whole way over there, ready to attack whoever acted like they were a little bit aggressive. But I was physically scared. My hair started falling out when I was over there. My pillow looked like a chia pet. And I thought it was the medication, but after thinking back on it, I know it was the fear. There was a guy in a Hindu little hut out my dirty hotel window, and I was sure that he was sicking the evil spirits upon me to do me great harm. I decided to come home because it was too dangerous, and I was too afraid. I went into the leader of our team at that time, Bruce Johnston and Dick Hall. Told him my plan. He said, I agree with you, it is scary. I support you if you go home, but you won't know what happened if you go home. What would have happened if you went home? I said, fine, thanks for the advice, I'm going home. Started out the door, and he said, Bruce, one more thing. Yeah, Bruce, what is it? I'd like to encourage you not to converse with your fears. Think about that. Do not converse with your fears. He said, God is more powerful. God can conquer this fear if you just give it to him. I went to my room, I prayed about it, decided to stay. I began to stop conversing with my fears. And I'm thankful I stayed. That was the first trip of probably 25 other ones that I let out in. I don't know how many people gave their heart to Jesus. I don't know how many churches were built. But I do know Jesus is faithful, and he's coming soon. Somebody wrote about the work will be getting more difficult to do as we near the coming of the Lord. Evangelism is all but shut down in the wonderful country of India by us Americans or for other foreigners. We can go and we can build. We can build churches, we can build schools. And we can give them our testimony, but we can't do the organized evangelism. So the work has gotten more difficult. It just hit me as I was sitting here. The work is difficult now. It's harder to do. But you all have a gift. And what Maranatha has done with me has allowed me to work with the cream of the crop in the whole world. You people that go on the trips that have been with us are the cream of the crop. You've got the Lord's money in your banks. You've got the Lord's money buried somewhere for a tough time coming. Maranatha needs your money. We need to put our money into the Lord's work. I'm not asking you to sell out and give it all. I'm asking you to give your excess. I don't want to be the guy that when the Lord comes, he said, what did you do with that talent I gave you? I buried it, Lord. I knew you were a harsh taskmaster. But there it is. Don't bury your talents. Invest them into the Lord's work. So what, you got a CD paying 5% or 2%? I want to tell you about a little girl in a village. I met her one time. I was walking through the village handing out and praying to people, with people. Steps to Christ or Desire of Ages, I don't remember which. I got to the end of the village and there's a little path off to the side. What's down there? I'm not going to converse with my fears. I'm going to go down the path. I went down there and here's this long hut that was away from the village. They were ostracized for some reason. I don't know if they were Christians or what the problem was, but they were not part of the bigger village. And I came up to this long house, and there was Grandpa and Grandma section, there was the kids section, there was the kids section, and they brought this little girl out, a shriveled up cripple. There was a bunch of kids playing behind me. And she was looking longingly out there like, boy, I wish I could run. You could almost read her thoughts. And I said, would you like to be able to run like those children? And she just looked at me. And I said, if you believe in Jesus, He will come and take you to heaven. Do you believe in Jesus? And she had just about enough energy to move her head like that, which means yes in India. And I prayed with her. And we went on our way, and we decided we was going to get some help to come back to that village and help that little girl get some medical help. She died that night. Our help was a day late. But Maranatha was on time because they made it possible that we could go over there and speak to that little girl's heart. I look forward to seeing her in heaven. I encourage you to give of what the blessing the Lord has given you. It doesn't matter what a smart businessman or smart woman, businesswoman you are. The Lord is the one that blessed you with the means you have. Maranatha is a faith-based business. And it makes no sense. Dave Bechtel used to give us checks for the matching funds, and he'd lean over and he'd say, you see this right here? It's no sense what the Lord has done. He said, I keep shoveling money into the Lord's work, and He keeps shoveling it back. But you know what? The Lord's got a bigger shovel. What an awesome thing. And He does. I can personally tell you He has a bigger shovel than all of us combined. Karaslata said, it's best to be given while you're living, so you're knowing where it's going. And I can tell by the color of your hair, you're not going to be around too much longer. Even those of you with the phony color on, I can tell. Don't be caught when the Lord comes, holding on to your little sack of gold that moth has eaten. It's a joy to give. It's better to give than it is to receive. You don't need it. God does. I've asked you, I think about 7 years to pray for me. And I want to thank you for that. 2 weeks ago, I got my 7th year clean scan from throat cancer. And I praise God that Maranatha has given me the opportunity to learn so much from you folks. Thank you for giving while you're living.